welcome to the stream. So this is the final episode of Season 0. After this I will be streaming the Season server. I will of course still take care of my creeps on the non-seasonal world. You know, there's no reason for me to not update the code or like write the code so it only works on the seasonal one. So my colony will hopefully keep on living, but the streams I will be making will be very explicitly just from the seasonal content. And today we'll be kind of continuing with what we started yesterday, and that is, you know, just doing the cleanup of the code, finishing up a couple of things, so I can just take my code and start it on the seasonal world. So here we go then. Let's switch to the small view. Yep. And let's go to the code. So actually, a couple of things of note. I did make a couple of changes while offline. This room was a bit stuck. So last time there was a lot of extensions around. I had to destroy them because they actually count towards the number of extensions in the room. So basically I kind of thought that the extensions basically belong to the spawn, but they actually belong to the room, which kind of means that or I guess technically they belong to the controller, because the level of the control kind of dictates how many extensions you can have. So basically I couldn't build any more extensions. There is still something strange happening right now, because I don't think my dual spawning logic is working properly. So I will need to have a look at that. But otherwise this is kind of starting to stabilize. It was a big mess for a bit, but now things are starting to work out. We have remote fighters basically camping here, you know, waiting for any problems happening. And actually I just realized one thing that I should probably change. I mean, it's oh, this one just died. That's amazing. Okay, let me just pick one that's actually alive. Right, come on. Yeah, this one will live for a bit. Okay. So the way I spawn these, they kind of have, you know, 2 moves, attack, and then a tough. First of all, I think the ordering on these is wrong. It should start with the tough. And I think it should be tough, attack, no, tough, move, attack, move, possibly. And then maybe even further than that, maybe I should just start with all the tough and then have all the other parts. Because when things get damaged, they go from left to right. So when basically this fighter starts getting damage, he will lose the move part, and then the attack part, and the tough, and the 2 moves, and so on. So if I do it this way, the good thing is he will never kind of become, he just becomes less efficient over time, right? Because kind of what's happening is like the multiplier on the number of like the, you know, units is decreasing. So for example, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these, right? So it's like 8 of these units of 2 moves, 1 attack, and 1 tough. So if he gets attacked, he will basically slowly start losing the number of these units. So he'll become less and less efficient. Although one thing I probably should check, if a part is destroyed on a creep, if a part is destroyed on a creep, does it still count for the weight? As in for the speed of movement? That's something I don't actually know, and I shouldn't have clicked on that button specifically. I want to click on documents, yes. Okay. Each body has its physical weight. The total amount depends, yes, okay. The order specific drink has, yes. It only says that the full damage to a part leads to complete disassembling of it. It doesn't really specify what that means. Maybe it will say in the API. So if we go to creep, attack body part, if the attack is in rampart, yes, rampart. Interesting. Doesn't really say. Maybe I'd say under move. Interesting. This also doesn't really talk about it. Get active body part. Fully damaged parts do not count. Okay, so I mean, since there is get active body parts method, I would kind of guess that my interpretation that the damaged ones don't count is correct. But I'm not 100% sure. I could definitely be wrong. I think this is really something I would have to like look into the actual code of Screeps to figure out what's actually happening. Like, does it look at the active body parts, or does it actually look to like all body parts? Yeah. I guess let's just write this one as a question for now, and if we have the Screeps experts dropping in today, then I will ask around. Okay, so let's just note this down. So if a body part is damaged, does it still count for body weight? Now, so looking at my fighters, right, I should definitely front load the tough, because it really doesn't make sense for me not to, like, I really like tough. The only thing tough is good for is to actually prevent damage, basically, right? So they should definitely be front loaded and not like this. So that's 100% a mistake. But then depending on like whether the damaged body parts count or not, I would either arrange it as all the attacks then all the moves, or like this, where it's like 2 moves and then an attack, or possibly attack and 2 moves, one of those. Yeah, like those are very similar. It's kind of depends on if I kind of want the creep to move at 1 tick still, even though it's like half damaged. Yeah. But yeah, the tough definitely needs to go first. So actually, let's fix that. That's pretty easy fix. So when I'm respawning things, yeah. Okay. So first, let's just front load the tough, and then have the move attack. And for now, I will leave it as move attack. Yeah, we can kind of play with it later. And again, depending on whether the pieces count, like either these two moves would move after in a separate for loop, so it would be first attack and then move, and then basically the creep can run if it's like 2 damaged. But if the damaged pieces don't count, then it really doesn't matter, and it should just be always together in these pieces where the creep is just getting less efficient over time. Yeah. Let's just push this because this is a tiny change. Now, yesterday what I started with was the cleanup of the respawn logic. Now I have the respawn manager. And there are actually a couple of things there that... Hey Zos, welcome back. I already have questions. So, for fighters, well, actually this is for all creeps. So if a body part is damaged, does it still, I mean, as fully damaged, I mean, sorry. If a body part is basically inactive, does it still count for weight? As in fatigue? Or is it just like completely ignored at that point? Okay, so it literally, okay, so I found this get active body part. So this is basically the thing that matters, right? Cool. Okay, yeah, so then I think my design is now okay. I was talking about that I kind of designed my fighters pretty badly, because first of all I didn't front load the tough, and then spare body parts type dysfunction. Yes, okay, yeah, right. But I meant like in principle, like only living body parts matter to the, yeah, sure. But the thing I was saying is that my fighters are badly designed because the tough should be front loaded, so that's one thing I changed. And then I was kind of debating how I should like order the moves versus the attacks. So with the parts becoming inactive, I think it makes sense to have these like blocks where like the creep becomes less efficient over time, but it doesn't like get like unmovable or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, that was my logic as well. Yeah. So basically I was kind of trying to figure out if I should have this repeating pattern or just have all the moves at the end. That would be if the body parts actually counted for weight. But yeah, with this, basically, I think, should there be... This one maybe is already fixed. No, it isn't. Whatever. Okay. But yes, pretty much first all the tough and then the repeating pattern of the actual like core functionality. Cool. What the heck is wrong with this room? I really... yeah, there's something wrong with my drill spawning logic. Somehow it doesn't want to spawn drills in this room. So I guess let's have a look. So we should have basically a drill with this ID, and I think we don't. So drill underscore this. Oh wait, this guy actually no, undefined. Okay, so it doesn't exist. Cool. Yeah. But why? This is curious. Like, this did work before in the previous rooms. I'm a bit confused as to what's happening here. Okay, so this question was answered. Oh, interesting. Yeah, using moving parts as shields was kind of my idea as well. Okay. Where am I spawning the drills? Ensure sources have drills. Okay, so spawning. Okay, that's one thing. Source ID of sources. Okay, so this gets forward room sources. Rooms get. Where's this coming from? Oh, it's the room data, right. Oh, maybe this is broken. Let's have a look. And yeah, this is broken. This will be a good thing to fix right now in the code cleanup. So 4 rooms. Well, okay, so the limits isn't really a room, that's just here because that was some sort of mistake at some point. So we have E25S3. Okay, so we have limits in here. But we don't have sources. Where does the sources get initialized? That's a interesting problem. Sources serialize. Okay, so this is the serialization, right? So we try to deserialize it. Room memory. Sources. And this thing handles undefined. Yes. So it will put in. So this should hit the size is 0. Am I missing something here? Why would this be a problem? Yeah, I will need to add some logs. The only tricky part here is that this gets hit from multiple sides, so I just need to log like also which room and everything. Let's just use this thing to see the specific logline. Okay, so let's log room.name has no serialized sources, and I guess we can log how many we actually did find. So let's do this dot sources dot size, something like this.
Thank you. But I said you didn't have to. So, you know. But thank you. I do appreciate.
Like, please, like seriously, please don't feel any at all obligation to subscribe. Like, it's like there are people that stream as their like main income, right? Like for me, it's just like a fun thing that I do. So that's why I'm saying, like, please don't feel any obligation, because it really there isn't any. Okay, so let's look at the console, what's happening. We should be seeing, yeah, so it says E20S3 has no serialized sources. It has found 2 sources. But it somehow don't get serialized? What? This room memory sources serialized set these sources. Okay. I know what's happening. I don't have the serialized call at the end, I think. I think that's the problem. Where the heck was it? Geez, where are you? Somewhere. Or here, yeah, okay. Yes, this is why this thing is refactoring. Oh gosh. Yeah, forward room.serialize. Yeah, that was the thing that was missing. Even though it's a bit weird, because I think like the spawning logic for drills should work either way. I mean, this is really just caching it, and it's still not spawning drills, so there's potentially another bug in there. Okay, so this was one bug. Okay, good to know. Yeah, it's basically I'm starting to treat it as an array, but yeah. For now, I have the source of all evil, which is my like initial room. Then I have a charge room and I have a forward room, which is like a totally arbitrary names, which is like nothing to do with anything. Jeez, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, then I can lose the source of all evil. That would be like absolutely devastating to me. Like, it cannot happen. Come on. Man, I mean, that would suck for sure. Okay, so drills, come on. What's wrong with the stupid drills? Let's just add more logging. Trying to spawn a drill for source ID. Yeah, we will figure this out. again, like this is all why I really wish to have the refactoring, because like the code became very messy, unfortunately. Right, so it's going over. Yeah, see, like it's only going through 4 of them, and I have 3 rooms of 2. Each has like 2 sources, so it should be there should be 6 logs over here, and I think this one is ED4. Oh, it's actually going over this one. Interesting. You don't see it on the screen, but like the ID of this one actually is this. Oh yeah, it probably wasn't going over the first one because the spawn was busy. Right. So we are hitting this code. That's good. Now we try to get it out of the drill map. Do I still have the... I should still have the drill map. Is the drill map per room? Oh, it is per room. Okay, let's just reload the memory because things changed. So... drill map. Interesting. I already have a drill assigned to this source. But do I actually have a drill? No, this is a remote builder. This one is a remote builder. This one is a remote builder. This one is a worker. Worker. Remote builder. Okay, this is weird. Yeah, there's basically a container. So what I do, okay, let me show you. If we go to the other rooms, because this room is actually a good example. So what I do is this. I basically block it off so there's only one space, and then there is a container below the creep. No, I don't think I'm checking the container existence. If there's no container, it will just drop it on the ground. Yeah, so like what you are saying would be another option where I put the container and it tries to find the container, but I'm kind of doing it the other way around, where like I just block it off with like 1 hit point walls and that's it. Yeah, like yours approach is a bit more systematic. Mine is kind of hacky. But okay, well, like what the heck is this guy? I really want to know, like, what is this like drill that's supposedly existing? Because this is very confusing. So it says that this guy is a drill. Now, can I get a creep by ID? That's, That's a good question. Maybe we should just log it over here. So console.log. Actually, let's log underneath this not null thing. So if we find the creep, then yeah, let's just have a look at what's happening with it. So found a drill for source, found an existing drill for source. The source ID, where is it? Source ID with name. With name. Now the thing is, like, this should anyway spawn on the second drill for the second source, so there's something else broken here, but like this is already weird. Like, where did this mapping... Oh, get object by ID. Okay. Okay. Drill dot name. Yeah, let's see what this prints out. Okay, so there. Okay, so one of the remote builders is a supposedly a drill for this source. Which is fine. I think that happened because I was like reassigning creeps manually. So that's actually okay. Nope. I want to copy this name. So let's look at him. So creeps.creep, and he should appear somewhere here, right? Yeah, he's set to being a drill. So which one is it actually? Is it this guy? No. Is it this guy? Yes, this guy. Okay. So this guy is set to being a drill. Okay, cool. So that's fine. So for this source we have a drill technically. But then why doesn't the drill spawn for this one? That's what does it actually say in the log? So my drills should be spawning like smaller if there's not enough energy, so that should be fine. Okay, so it's saying, yeah, it's basically just, it's not hitting it, the branch where it actually finds the drill, so that's good. So it's somewhere here. So spawning has drill name. Oh, maybe it somehow broke and it's in spawning. So I have this, this is another thing I really need to fix. Spawning. Yeah, it's here. Okay. Yeah, and I know why this is broken. Okay. Oh, I need to actually... Yeah, I don't want to edit the actual memory. That would be a bad idea. Let's just pull the spawning over here. So this is basically so I like don't double spawn my things. Which honestly I could just delete because this will become important once I have like multiple spawns in a room, but I don't, and now it's ready and spawning. Okay. Yeah. This is one thing that should be yeah, I should really fix this by basically baking this in the respawn manager, which is the new class that I started writing. Okay, so so this should basically unblock this. Yeah, so this is fine now. Yeah, it's spawning the drill for this. Yeah, this source. Okay, so it's working fine now. Cool. Right. So in that case, basically what we want to do now is get rid of the remote builders because I don't think we need them anymore. I guess maybe before I turn it off completely, let me just build more roads over here. So the UI on the website is really not amazing. I think that's by design because you are supposed to do this kind of stuff not manually, but you know. Okay. And yeah, I think I want my typical layout, so let's just kind of draw this out as usual. So this would be basically like this. Yeah, let's just prepare the roads. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, let me catch up with the chat. Oh, so I could use game creeps with the name immediately. Hmm. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, for the diagonals. Oh yes. So I definitely want to because plus intersections have more space for movement. Yeah, basically what I did here is this. I kind of just have this pattern for like my extensions, which probably isn't super smart. Probably the optimal pattern would be like just have them like spaced out in diagonals and have the roads in between or something. Yeah. I mean, okay, so what I would really love to do at some point is to have basically a module that basically figures out the optimal layout of roads in a room. Because there's like a lot of weird pathing happening, right? Like you can see it like there's like this thing here where like the creep wants to step out of this road, right? And a lot of that kind of stuff. So I'm basically thinking, well, okay, like if you guys kind of want to pick your own roads, then let me just like have a module that actually like counts basically how many times that the creeps stepped on that piece, right? And then basically based on that, if there's like a absolutely useless piece of road, let's just destroy it. If there is like a piece of ground that the creeps keep stepping on, I mean, sure, let's build the road there. So it's definitely something I want to experiment with. It's the question is when the heck I will get to that. I have no idea. And there's also the thing is like I will need to make it in a way that it still plays nicely with like the things I built. Yeah, okay. There is also one thing I should definitely do is there's like the links and stuff, right? Like for example here. Not this because this is like a neutral room, but basically if I would put like a link or like right here, right? And put the other piece like next to my container, well then, or I think I can put it immediately on top of my container or something, right? Like these guys don't have to go all the way in to like drop it off in the container. So there's like a lot of optimizations that I really need to do. It's just like, yeah. Everything's still very immature in my code base, definitely. Okay, so I think we resolved the critical issues in the new room, so I can kind of move on from there. But But we will not go too far away from that actually. So, well, first of all, let me undo the logging because I don't want to have like my logs are already like spammy as hell. So let's not make this worse by logging even more. Okay, so I think what I need to do is in my it's in this file actually, right? So I have this thing, closest spawn. So this thing needs to be a bit smarter, I feel. I feel that this, first of all, I added this bit of logic as in it makes sure that spawns that are not like mature enough to support other rooms don't actually get hit with the remote building orders, because that was actually one thing that was really screwing me over. And also this thing didn't even, so what happened at the very beginning, and I fixed it I think yesterday, was I kind of forgot that that when I like pick the closest spawn, the spawn in the room still counts because like obviously it's a spawn. So I was trying to like boost that spawn by itself, like build more units so this room is better by just like overloading that spawn, so it never had any resources to actually spawn the things it needs to spawn. So yeah, a big mess. So now there's this check where it basically checks if the controller isn't at least level 5, then don't participate in this nonsense. Which I think is good enough. Like they basically, you know, let's get to level 5 and then from there on you can start supporting other rooms. But in this logic, I definitely want to have a thing that basically prevents the spawn being used for like low priority things if a high priority thing failed. So since this thing gets recreated, hey, welcome back. Since this thing is recreated every tick, well, what I can then do is just have a private reserved spawns set id structure spawn. And since this doesn't get serialized, I can just have it as a set, that's fine. So at the very beginning in the constructor, we just initialize it to an empty thing, that's fine. Oh, actually, because of that, I can just put it into, no, I actually don't want to take it as a parameter, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this dot, not closest spawn, this dot reserve spawns will be new set of id structure spawn. And brackets, obviously, right, because we are creating an object. So we start with an empty set, right? And then when we are spawning these methods, the remote source has builders and so on. Basically, if they fail, they should just chuck the spawn into the reserve spawns. And as I will be slowly moving stuff over there, and basically over here in the closest spawn of spawns, if reserved spawns has spawn, wait, spawn is a, what is spawn? Spawn is structure spawn. Ah, right, dot id, yeah. Then continue. Yeah, so if this spawn is reserved, just continue. Otherwise, you can you can have it as part of this stuff. And actually, what I was thinking over here as well. So right now, this logic will kind of pick the spawn no matter how distant it is. Okay, sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. What's reserve spawns? Right, okay, so right now this code has a bit of an issue. So think about a situation where you want to spawn a bunch of things. Like let's say you are missing a worker, but also there's like another room that needs like, you know, remote miners or whatever. And these things kind of have a priority, and it's always make sure that the room is running correctly, like the economy in the room is solid, so like I have enough workers and stuff like that. And then after that, if the spawn is still not being used for spawning stuff and it has enough energy, then you can go ahead and, you know, do other stuff. Right now, the only thing that's actually checked if the spawn is busy, as in if it's spawning stuff. So if you have a situation, hey Panda, so if you have a situation where the high priority thing is very expensive, so you can run into a situation that basically the thing doesn't spawn because you don't have energy, but then the spawn isn't busy, and then if you have something that's like low priority but cheaper, that can basically take the remaining energy and just start spawning, which is a thing we don't want, because basically on the next ticks we want to have, you know, creeps come in and bring enough energy so we can spawn the high priority thing. So that's what these reserve spawns is. We will basically record which spawns shouldn't be used for spawning, and it's just local within this. It's just local within one tick, right? You just, you know. Okay, put very simply. If I try to spawn something and I don't have enough energy, I will just mark the spawn as reserved. That's it. That's what it is. So that anything else will not manage to use the like leftover energy for any other purpose. Hopefully that's clearer. Yeah, I just went very on the deep end. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's a very simple thing. It's just I went a little bit too much in depth on that. Yes. Okay, but the second thing I want to prevent is basically over here. So if distance is bigger than, and this will be some sort of a limit somewhere, because I don't really want to be in a situation where I'm like spawning builders from like the other side of the map, and basically it takes them forever to reach that place. Now the problem with my codebase is like it's not that easy for me to skip over the following spawning operations, because I have the code kind of distributed over the place. So I don't know exactly how the first works, but I think the founder is like within the first like time period, whatever it actually is. Oh, it's the first 10. Okay. Centralized for, so basic. I mean, that's basically this thing. It's the respawn manager is what's kind of responsible for that. But the thing is, I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure which way would be easier to make this. I mean, definitely right now my logic is kind of distributed. Right. Okay, yes, like if you basically collect all the requests and then make decisions based on that, that's another option. Yes, totally. Yeah. No, totally. Yeah. But I think I can avoid doing that by just doing this. Although... Yours approach might be better. So I already see kind of an issue with what I'm doing. I mean, it's not really like a blocker, it's just a quirk of this approach. Yeah, okay, I will need to think about it a bit. Yeah. I might need to collect all the spawn requests and then to just schedule them around. I would kind of like to avoid that because that will make the code way more complicated. So the problem I see already is... So... Which CTF you mean? Like, there's a couple of them. Yeah, there's a hacker CTF, yes. I don't know. I don't know how... I guess I can try at some point and see if it works or not for me. I don't know. The thing is, like, I'm way more of a coder / architect than like a hacker, so... Yeah, so I have absolutely no idea how well I would do. But I can definitely try at some point, you know, and we will see how it goes. Okay, so I wanted to talk about like the issue that so what I'm kind of writing is like you have basically multi-dimensional resource, right? You have room has a resource available and it can have multiple spawns. So basically, if I have a spawn manager per room, then basically if I do like spawn P0, spawn, you know, P1 and spawn P2 as in the different priorities, if any of these fails, I pretty much want to lock down the room. I don't want to just lock down the spawn. Because if I just lock down the spawn, the other spawn can still screw me over. So honestly, it shouldn't be reserved spawns, it should be reserved rooms. But if I do that, I should be fine, because at that point, if I fail to spawn something... So basically the logic is, if not spawn.busy and resources less than available, sorry, resources less than need, lockdown room. Oops, lockdown room. Basically something like this logic, where, yeah. And then basically on the next loop, supposedly there will be a creep that came in and dropped down some resources. So while, yeah, basically this part changes. Now, okay, so what actually happens if spawn is busy? There's still an inversion happening if one of the spawns is busy, isn't there? It's almost like it should be, if resources is less than need, then lockdown room, and then if spawn not busy, if not spawn busy, then unlock and spawn. It's almost like that, no? Because if I put the spawn busy in this section, yeah, so it's basically, okay, so, right, okay, I'm getting there. So, basically, if, so if not all spawns busy and resources is less than need, so if all the spawns in the room are busy, then just ignore the room as if it doesn't have spawns, basically, right? So that part is easy. Now, if one of the spawns is not busy and the resources is less than I need, then just lock down the room to prevent like other things using the free spawn. And then, yeah, this kind of logic, this should work. So this is just for the current tick, yes. The lockdown is just for the current tick. To basically, the only thing it's doing is like the successive calls don't get to touch the room. So basically, right. So basically you have room can spawn, which is not locked down, and not all spawns busy. Pretty much. If you spawn from the same room multiple times, we'll check same condition again. Same time, locking needs for energy and not for spawn busy locking. Kinda connect to condition to unlocking. I mean, it's basically, it's almost not really locking. It's like I'm basically saying which rooms can be used for spawning, and if I try to spawn something in a room, it doesn't really matter which of the spawns, and there wasn't enough energy available, then basically just the successive spawn should just skip over that room. Yeah, I think this is basically the core logic. So when I'm selecting spawn, so this is specifically for the remote operations, right? Like if I'm trying to spawn within a room, then it's easy. I'm just checking the lockdown. If there's no lockdown, I spawn. But when I'm looking for remote rooms to like spawn extra stuff, this is the logic I will be looking at. I will be looking at if the room either is completely busy or if it's locked down. Yeah. And this will work. Okay. So this will be not reserved spawns. This will be reserved rooms. Or actually, let's just call it lockdown rooms. Locked down rooms. So this will be just a set of strings because we go by names. Yes, yes. So that's one thing I'm still maintaining is that I spawn.room.name is that I call the it's basically two blocks. Like it's the high priority jobs, which is like my local economy in each room, and then everything afterwards. And I also kind of do that for like CPU purposes, because then like if I would accidentally run out of CPU, you know, then I'm still fine. It's definitely not the concern right now, but it can potentially come into play. Right, so here we skip over the lockdown rooms. Spawn room controller. Oh, I guess we don't even check if spawn.spawning. Yeah, then skip over it, yes. Yeah, so when we are picking stuff, so I kind of split it into two pieces. There's like the spawn.spawning and the lockdown rooms. But this will kind of inherently kick the room out if all the spawns are busy anyway, so that's fine. Yep. So in the constructor, now it's lockdown rooms instead of the previous thing, and this needs to be a set of string. Good. Now ensure, okay. So what are we doing here? Okay, so this thing, remote source, has builders. This thing needs to change. And I think what I will actually do is pull this code in here. Should I just pull it in? What is this actually called? This should be just called... yeah, so this shouldn't be even called from my main anymore. Yeah, okay, let's just get rid of it, the imports over here, because that's no longer happening. Okay, so that basically means I can just move it into the class as a private thing. Yeah, I don't have to merge it with the other method, but yeah, this should be a private method on the class. Okay, yeah, well, let's do that. Where are you? Oh, up here, okay. So this will be a private remote source has builders. So this gets a specific spawn that's not spawning. It's not in a reserved room. We give it the minimum and the source. That's the target for the creep. That's fine. Then we are spawning the raw remote builder. So actually this piece of code, oh yeah, no, the memory thing is different. But I almost feel like this should be kind of extracted somewhere as a helper function. because this does, like, this is a piece of code I do call a lot all over the place. So what would that actually take as parameter? So I guess I can give it the role, the name, potentially even the memory content, that's fine. Okay, let me just try to write this. So this will be private spawn single creep. So we need the spawn, obviously, right? Structure spawn. We need I mean, we could technically compose the numbers of the creeps. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a role, which is a string. So this would basically be... So roles role is the first thing. So this will be the body. So that's the first thing, right? Then I guess the... no, it should be obviously const. The name... yeah, so this would be... Can I use like the string formatting thing over here like this? It should work, right? So let's do like creep underscore role underscore game.time. Something like that. And then I don't need to pass in the name as a separate thing. I think I want the memory just as a memory. Okay, so this would be... okay, I need to check that. I'm sure that's a specific thing over here. So creep, where's creep? Yeah, creep memory. Yeah, okay. So yeah, memory, creep memory. And is that actually... so okay, so this count is a separate logic because this is... I feel this should be extracted into a separate function. Okay, so this will be literally just the spawn. Okay, cool. So then over here, so const ret spawn dot spawn creep. Oh, okay, I don't need the body for anything else, so let's just do this. Rows role, name, and I guess, yeah, I don't really need that for anything else either, so let's just do that. And then memory. Now, so far I'm not really helping myself because it's just one call. But oops, what I want to do... Ah, damn it. Where am I clicking? Where was that? Now I lost it. Damn it. Here, right. Like, first of all, it's a bit cleaned up, but what I actually want to do, I want to check the results of this. Screeps return code. So what can this actually return? Okay, sorry, let me catch up with the chat. Each role class by default. Okay, so yes, generate name for each role class. Yeah, that would also work. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, I'm not that far so to be so devious. That's amazing. Sure, yeah. I don't think I'm that far that I want to like mask the actual like purpose of my creeps yet. I think that's a bit too advanced. But it sounds amazing. Okay. Yes, so the spawn creep is the thing I want to check out. Okay, so let's just quickly jump here. So we go to structure spawn. Yeah, structure spawn, spawn creep. So this either reason's okay. Error not owner, that's not on the table. Error name exists. That one shouldn't also really happen. Error busy also shouldn't happen. Not enough energy is important. Invalid arc, so the body is not properly described, or this one is a bit weird. Given control always insufficient to use this spawn. Oh, there's is there like a limit for something? What was it? Structure controller. No. Okay, what the heck is this sentence? Yeah, I'm playing the like winter playlist today. But I have a question. What the heck is this sentence? Oops. Why did I jump so much? Okay. First of all, what the heck is godium? Mineral. Oops. Energy and godium. So wait, you can make controllers? Oh, the safe mode can be generated. Okay. I was misreading it as in you can make controllers with godium. Okay. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. Oh. We have an evil creep attacking us. And the UI is freaking out, as usual. Why doesn't... Yeah, it's almost destroyed. Yeah, like, fortunately, these are not super dangerous. Cool. Okay. So... Let's do the reactions based on what we can get as a result, right? So first of all, let's go back to the spawn creep. Where is it? Right. So not owner name exists and busy and invalid arguments are just like weird errors that should not happen, right? So case error not owner, case name exists. So error not owner shouldn't happen because how am I even trying to spawn something out of something I don't own? Name exists since I keep appending the game time. Like how am I spawning the same? Well, technically that can happen with two spawns, I guess. Yeah, maybe name exists could potentially happen. The way I do stuff. Yeah. it can definitely happen if I have multiple spawns. Okay, moving this one into like, this is a possible error. Actually, I can see it. Oh geez, these reactions, like I will need to look at that at some point, but yeah, nowhere there. Okay, it switched playlist. Okay, that's a, yeah, that's a big mood change suddenly. What the heck? You know what? Let's go back to the lo-fi Christmas. I don't really feel like super heavy beats today. But feel free to let me know your preference. Okay. So I feel like I will switch to actually using proper JavaScript errors. So throw new error internal logic error. Oh yes, I wanted to have a look at this stuff. Oops. What the heck? Where did this file go? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is basically doing structured logging. Okay. We could do that for the messages themselves, I guess. But okay, I don't want to get into that today. So let's just grab like appropriate Unicode character for this. Yeah, bomb is good enough. Yeah, let's do. So let's log the role and let's log the spawn.name. Yep. Yeah, so if we see not owner busy invalid arguments, then there's something really wrong, because busy we checked before that. Invalid arguments shouldn't be happening and not owner shouldn't be happening. Name exists technically can happen. So I kind of feel the easiest thing to do is to have the same reaction as not enough energy. And just try next turn. But the big thing we need to do is to actually lock down the rooms. So lock down rooms, add spawn.room.name. Yeah, and just return. And case. So when is the RCL not enough? This part I'm not quite getting. Your room control level is insufficient to use this spawn. So does that really only happen when like the control decays completely? Or is there some like additional thing I'm forgetting? Because I don't think there's anything. Like there shouldn't be any implications on me spawning stuff in a room as long as I actually own the controller, right? Oh, so if the controller would downgrade and I have two spawns, like it would forbid me for using the second one, or how exactly does that work? Okay, okay. So then probably this should be with the impossible errors. I mean, it's not a thing we can like recover from the next tick, I guess. And I don't want to lock down the room. Is active. Oh, okay. So then I need to change this piece of logic as well. So if not spawn dot is active, then continue. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm checking a lot of stuff over here. Oh, it's expensive. Now why would it be expensive? What the heck? Is active. Huh. Okay. Okay, I need to be careful with these then. I almost wish there was like a Visual Studio Code thing where like if you hover, like it just gives you the documentation, but it would be cool to see like, oh, this is cheap, this is expensive. Ah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine how it could be expensive. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, sure, let's just put it here then. So basically, if we get somehow screwed, like, I mean, hopefully this is kind of one of those that like we should never really hit this. But yes, like it can definitely happen. Okay. And I guess, well, I guess default is only the success. At this point we just go away. Let me just double check if I didn't like skip over anything, but I don't think I did. I think everything is kind of covered now. So we have, let's just double check. So we have okay is the default, that's fine. Not owner name, so not owner not owner busy. Invalid arguments, so those are things that are kind of preconditions for this function to even work, so we should never be hitting those, so that's fine. Error name exists, we just retry next turn and we lock down the room. Not enough energy, the same, and RCO not enough is kind of a special terminal error. Okay, cool. So I feel like this is a bit better function now, with a lot more checking of stuff. Now basically over here what I do is, what did I call it? Spawn single creep, yes. So spawn single creep from spawn, spawn, Oh yeah, this dot spawn single creep, yes. With the role of role and with the memory of this. S creep memory, yeah. I don't think I actually need to do that, but that's okay. Now, what I want to do is to have a trackage block around this, because this can throw. And for now, let's just do that. So if it throws, just print out the error. And that's pretty good. Now, as I said, this piece of logic over here, this also looks to me like a thing that should be extracted. Now, some of these are targeting... Yeah, so this the reason why this becomes a bit more complicated is because not all of them are kind of gated on the source ID. So source ID makes sense for builders and miners because this is where they are supposed to like grab resources from. So sure, that makes sense. For the other types of creeps, this becomes a bit more complicated. But probably even for... I could kind of create like a function per target. Like, you know, have enough creeps on source and have enough creeps on in room or something like that. Yeah, I think, yeah, let's do that. So let's do have enough creeps on source. So I want to get a source ID. Yes, so let's just get a source, which is just a source, yes. And this is by role. Yes. So yes, I want the role as a string. And oh yes, and the minimum as a number. And this will return a boolean, obviously, because that's the entire point of this function. Cool. Okay, we are getting there. Right. So then this thing can move over here. We don't use the key in anything. So then can I do something like this? Where I just discount the key? I think it's not complaining, so possibly I can. Okay, so I go over all my creeps. I check if the source ID is the creeps source ID, and then return count is equal, greater equal minimum. Yes, so this thing will change to if not this dot have enough creeps on source role and minimum. And this thing just became way more readable and shorter. Perfect. And these things now I can reuse in other things. So we have the remote. Yeah. Okay. So this was the remote source has builders thing. So remote source has builders. So now it's this dot remote source has builders. And actually, because I now just made this function way shorter, let me just do this. because that will make it even simpler. Well, kind of. Minimum. Okay, what was the minimum coming from actually? Target.limit. Ah, okay. Target.limit. Okay. Yeah, this looks pretty good. And we got rid of one function by creating two more. Yeah, that kind of tells you how important it is to pick the correct metrics for measuring your success. Okay. So then the same thing I want to do for the source has miners thing. Actually, okay, so this thing I'm already calling. So let me just push this and let's see if anything explodes. Like nothing should be exploding, but just to double check so I don't like then have like 1,000 changes that I'm pushing. This should kind of make it a bit more reasonable. Yeah, this locking is just a mess. But yeah, I think things are okay. Now the problem is I will not really see if this is working correctly until I kind of let it run for a bit, because this is specifically for the remote operations. And those are only happening in some rooms, and I don't have that many like creeps with those roles, so yeah, they don't get like spawned super frequently. So yeah, we will see. We will check if everything is working fine later. Right. So let's do the has miners. Right. So this thing. Yeah. Let's just do it into two steps as before. So first, let's just take this and move it into the class. Right here. Now, similar as before. So instead of this thing, it will be this dot has enough creeps on source, with source being source, role being role, and minimum being minimum. So if not have enough creeps, yeah, then we do this. And then this part is this dot spawn single creep. The try catch as here. Oh, let's just copy this. Yeah, actually, let's just copy this piece of logic. The only thing that's different is instead of remote builder, it's a remote miner. Oh, cool. Man, I'm so tempted to look into Grafana. The thing is, like, the only thing I'm worried about is since like this is literally the stuff I do at work. I basically don't want to like burn out. Oops, what? Burn out myself on like doing the same stuff I do at work. But it sounds so tempting, damn it. Oh, wait a second. I need to go a little bit back just to double check the memory, because that's the other thing. Room spawn. Okay, let's just copy this so to make sure I don't screw up anything. Oh no, so this one has an extra thing. This one has the drop off. Okay. Right. So yeah, not like it's similar, but not exactly the same. Yeah. Now I can get rid of this. And the target limits. Okay, so here is the minimum, but okay, if I just take this code and move it again over to here. So now it's target limit, and then this thing is spawn room storage. .id, right? Yes. I think we are good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Os. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I want to clean up my code as much as possible. Basically, so I have the basics working. So basically, you know, it's pretty much like I just start my code on the seasonal and the basics are just working smoothly. And then I can concentrate on the interesting stuff, which is like, I know I didn't like do too much research on the seasonal stuff, but I know there's like basically what in things that spawn that need to be mined and that kind of stuff. So there will be like a lot of custom stuff over there that will need to be implemented. So the real main objective right now is just to get the basics working smoothly, so I don't keep having the weird glitching and rooms kind of dying because there was like an inversion of priority. Yeah. So I think these should be the miners and builders now, which is cool. Let's just push it again. Oh no, we have a... What was that? Oh, wait, why did... What? Why is this not showing up in the like file list? What the heck? Oh, it's in the fancy job. What? Oh, yeah, this is screwing up my new scheduler that isn't finished. Damn it. But I'm not even using it, am I? No, I'm not. Let's just... yeah. Maybe that's why it didn't show up, because I wasn't actually using it. Browser. Okay. So we have some remote miners spawning right now. Oh, okay, these are weird. Did not find path between any spawn and E25S2. Maybe I screwed up something in my logic. Do I have visibility into all of these rooms? Let's just double check. It should be all fine, but... Or actually, wait a second. Is it... So 1, 2, 3... No, they should still be within 5 distance. Interesting. Oh, but yeah, okay. Because now it also happens if the spawns are busy or if I have locked down the room. Right. So it's not just that it didn't find the path, it's just that like there's no suitable spawn that can actually be used right now. Oh, okay. No, yeah. That's actually expected at that point. Okay. I just need to change the log because then the log is very confusing. Yeah, so no, did not find. Yeah, that's a very silly statement. Right. Okay. Yeah. So basically, yeah, these logs need to be fixed. Okay. Do I actually want to log this? Probably not, right? Like this is just like a thing that happens all the time. What I really want to log is kind of yeah, it's a bit more deep. It's kind of checking the conditions. It's like kind of like stats, right? Like every tick I kind of log, hey, I should have 3 miners in this room, I only have 2. And then basically if I look at them, I see, yeah, I still only have 2 of them and nothing is happening. And then I know that there's a problem. Okay. So let's just get rid of these because I think they're just, yeah, this will be just spamming me for now. So this goes over all the targets of remote building operations. Guess the target. This is actually, yeah. So this one is actually a bug, but not bug. This is like a non-transient issue. Like if I have a target ID in my remote building operations that's not a valid source, then that's a non-transient issue. But the problem is I don't want to basically stop all my logic when that happens. So actually for this one I do want to log. Okay. Yeah, so this I don't want to throw. I don't want to like basically break all this logic. I just want to make sure that this is actually a bug. Well, not bug, like some sort of inconsistency in my memory, whatever, right? And where did it go again? Damn it. Oh, right here. Okay. Now, what I could do, I could just go and fix it, right? There's really nothing preventing me from just deleting this thing out of memory. But the thing is, if that happens, how did that thing get in there in the first place? Like this is like a user error, like me calling the update method that like puts in more remote building operations with the wrong ID. So rather I really want to log. Actually since this is really like a user input error, maybe just use a different emoji for that. Yeah, let's call it brain error. destination for building destination source target.id for remote building operation is invalid. Okay, cool. Yeah, so and this is really the only thing I want to log here. Because if I don't find the closest spawn, there's just like a transient error. And like this type of errors I really want to catch in a different way, where like I keep getting this branch all the time. So this should be monitored like outside basically. As in, again, as I said, you know, I don't have enough builders and I'm not spawning enough builders. Like what the heck, you know, that kind of check. Spawn room storage. So this really is a thing that shouldn't really be happening again. Although right, so actually that thing I want to have over here as well. Yeah. So don't use spawns that don't have storage because, yeah. Wait a second. Why is this complaining? Oops. Am I screwing up the priority of the operators, or what was happening there? So do I need to do it like this? If not spawn... Oh, it needs to be or. I was putting down and. Right, okay. Yeah, okay, now it's fine. And I guess let's just get rid of this because I check it in the closest spawn. Okay. Right. And then we want to do the same thing for the fighters. Did not find path. Okay, that gets rid of this thing. And yes, this thing now. Okay, so this one is different because this one is per room. And yes, this one is also different because it has the special body parts. Right. So we are not spawning based on the role, like a static predefined role. Now we are spawning like a dynamic body parts thing. Okay, so in that case, what I want is over here, spawn single creep. Right. So, wait, can I have a function overloads? I don't remember. I can definitely have like optional fields, I know that. And it's not body part, right? What the heck is it? This is this thing is of type. Wait, it's just strings, array of strings. Potentially. Duplicate. Yeah. Okay. So okay. But I think what I can do is something like this? Roles, role. No? Ah, no, I think this will work, okay. Ah, body part constant, okay. Ah, body part constant, right, okay. Yeah, so what we do is we have a default value of the body parts, which is from roles role, and it can also be overridden. So now this thing will not be roles role, this will be body parts. This is the cool thing about dynamic languages, like you cannot do this kind of stuff in like C++. This is like bloody convenient. I love this. I guess there's like ways to make it work, but not really. Yeah, it like you can do it with like const express stuff, which is quite powerful these days. But yeah, still not on this level. Where am I scrolling to? Damn it! I completely lost my train of thought now. What the hell? Right, this was for the fighter spawn, because that one has the special body part specified, and the code is here. Right, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I never really found like these JIT compiled languages very compelling, because it's kind of like it's weirdly in between. Like either I don't care about performance, at which point I might as well just use something that's like super fancy and so, or I do care about performance, at which point I will just go to C++. So it's like that part for me is kind of weird. Like I never really found like a good compelling argument to go to like Java or C# or like any of these like in between languages. Yeah, so actually, well, that's actually part of the thing. Like these days, because of V8, like JavaScript is actually like reasonably performant, like compared to like Java and C#. It's still like miles away from C++, but yeah, like C++ is still. The thing with C++ is you can basically do abstractions that disappear when you compile the thing. It's kind of like the TypeScript thing, where like you have these abstractions that just don't, like they are not present in the runtime at all. JS versus C#. Yeah, I think like, well, it's really so okay. Depends what you use it for, right? C# isn't really close to CPU. Like JavaScript definitely has limitations because of the like asynchronous model, right? But like straight up just like normal code that isn't, you know, well, C# doesn't, well, I mean, depends what you mean by C# gets compiled to another language and then to binary. Like you have the intermediary representation and then it gets JIT compiled when it's running, no? I mean, potentially, but you can also write JavaScript where you don't have the dynamism of the types. I mean, it super depends on the code you are writing, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can make like easy counterexamples, because I can already like see very obvious counterexamples where just JavaScript falls apart because yes, you have like a bunch of layers of dynamic stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I think it really depends what you are doing exactly. But the thing is, like, okay, I don't have that much experience with C#, but I do have experience with Java, and I kind of like Java has like massive performance issues in the context where you would use C++ normally. So at that point, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But what you are describing is more like... That's like the funkiness of the VM more than anything, right? Like, you... Like, in C++, most of the performance is kind of coming from the language definition itself. And you basically... If you write things in a specific way, the language itself is kind of giving you a lot of guarantees about the performance of the code. With languages that have VMs, you are kind of reliant on how exactly the VM behaves. So, and that's very much like implementation defined behavior, right? But like if you are talking about C++, you don't really manage memory, that's the thing. Like the C++ memory model is based on ownership. So you basically define who owns what, and when that object goes away, it basically destroys whatever it owns. So it's kind of like C++ doesn't really create garbage, as in, so that therefore it doesn't really need a garbage collector, right? I mean, there are obviously some like weird corner cases where you can run into, like, especially with distributed systems, you can run into issues where like you don't actually know if you still need something around or not. But for the like the correct model of writing C++ code, sure. If you need help setting up, so I would recommend the Visual Studio Code. That one works pretty well for this. Just set it up for TypeScript, and that's basically the first step. Get to a point where it's working with TypeScript. It should be fairly easy. Yes, I do indeed program professionally. Or depends who you are asking. Also, I guess. But anyway, welcome back, Mox. Room string row string minimum number. Yeah, so if you're asking me, I work for, well, things changed a bit now, but basically I work for a AI code analysis company. I mostly deal with the production stuff, so don't get to do much of AI outside of Screeps, but yeah. By the way, you can use it for free. If you go to deepcode.ai, that's our like old product. WASM is WebAssembly, but don't go the WASM approach. Uh, since you don't know C++ too much, I think you will just be confused. I think for Euros to just start from TypeScript straight up, it will be easier. But basically, WebAssembly allows you to compile any code that's not JavaScript into JavaScript. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have really recommendations for TypeScript because, I mean, you can watch my videos on YouTube about me learning TypeScript, but that's more of like, oh, I already know how to code in C++ very well. Let me like check what's the differences. So it's not like super useful to other people, I guess. Okay. So this part of code. Yeah, I think this should be another function. And I guess we should just do it by room. Because no, not this one. Actually, maybe just the energy capacity available. Yeah, because that's really the only thing that matters, right? So just a number in that case. Okay. Energy cap number. And it returns an array of body part constant. Cool. So this thing is energy cap. Okay. And then we just return array of body parts. Cool. Okay, let me catch up with the chat a bit. Stuff is happening. Welcome, Taki Mirror. Yeah, so I would actually recommend TypeScript. because honestly, JavaScript will come handy in whatever you do in the future. It's like the most widely used language right now, next to Python. So probably like if you learn like Rust, you might not have use for that. But if you learn TypeScript, I'm pretty sure like that will not be wasted time. Is that the case? Not all JavaScript is valid TypeScript because it doesn't compile, no? Or does it actually compile? Oh, it marks everything like as any, right? Or whatever is that thing, and then it compiles because of that. Is that how it works? I don't actually know. Ah, okay. Yeah, here, just call me by my nickname. But if you prefer my real name, I don't mind either. I'm not like one of those streamers that have this stuff figured out and they have a brand or anything. I'm just, you know, split personality. Okay, dynamically sized fighters. Here they go. Right. Okay, actually. So, if not this dot have enough creeps in room, room roll minimum, then this dot spawn single creep from spawn, yes. Yeah, we need a trackage block again. If you're using JavaScript, I would strongly recommend switching to TypeScript, especially if you know a bit of Java. Like if you don't know any like typed languages, then maybe switching to TypeScript would be kind of confusing, but yeah, like I definitely TypeScript over JavaScript. For me personally, in any context, literally, like if you can, just use TypeScript, don't use straight up JavaScript. So we don't have the source ID, we don't have the drop ID either. We do have, so here the room is room. Room working false, yes. And then we call make dynamically sized fighter as the last parameter. With this thing as the flag. It should be this dot, right? Yes. And this can all go away. Okay. So the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript is basically, TypeScript is a type layer on top of JavaScript, and it has a compiler that actually tells you if you screwed up any of your types, right? So in JavaScript, you can basically like assign anything to anything and do pretty much anything, and it will just dynamically fail at runtime. With TypeScript, it will actually tell you, hey, like you are assigning this object that doesn't actually seem to be, you know, the correct thing to assign into this variable, and so on. And also because you have types, the like, you know, coding experience tends to be much better because your IDE actually understands what the code is actually doing. It's not just like all dynamic stuff. And yes, it will not 100% protect you. You can still shoot yourself into the foot. It's, you know, yeah. But like saying this as like a person who struggled through a bunch of different languages, TypeScript 100% over JavaScript. If you want to pick other languages, go for it. Except some of them might not be supported super well with Screeps, so you might run into like weird issues. TypeScript just works because it's straight up JavaScript and it's a primary language for Screeps. So the only thing you kind of need is just like the, you know, the framework of the types to start you off, and that's kind of really the only thing you need. Other than that, you are just using JavaScript and you are fine. Okay, then good luck with the quiz. And yeah, I don't think there's any project that actually does it with C, because yeah, I think you kind of need an object-oriented language for this stuff because the JavaScript is object-oriented, so it's kind of hard to translate that into C. But yeah, good luck with the quiz and see you later. And this thing can now move to here. Target.room, target.limit. Okay, good stuff. Let's see if everything is still working. No, it isn't. Oh, because, okay, this one also is showing up somewhere. No, where is there? Oh, here, right, over. What? Am I just blind and not see the? Oh, here. What the? Oh, here, okay. Wait a second, how did we end up in this situation? Oh, because I removed the check, right. Yeah, sadly I do need this check over here, okay. I just removed it because it was redundant, but in this context it's not. So spawn room dot controller. Yeah. I mean, this is a no-op, but for the TypeScript compiler, it's required because now it shouldn't complain about this being undefined. Why are you still complaining that this is potentially undefined? I just added a thing that just jumps out. What the heck? Still not. What? This This is definitely not undefined. Oh, not controller. Such a doofus. Okay. I'm like, why is this undefined? I'm checking it, but I'm checking something completely different. Ugh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, now it should be okay. Ugh. Damn it. Yeah, now it's not complaining. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's just jump to the... Where's my browser? Here's my browser. Okay. So let's just... Wait, where's my... Oh, I only get the console when I open the actual window, right? So let's see if we have any errors happening anywhere. Yeah, we already have a bit less logging, which is great. Yes, and seems like things are working. So we still have a bunch of workers. We are spawning a fighter. Let me just double check that this didn't break. So there's a fighter over here. Okay. Oh. Well, this is awkward. Jesus. Amazing code, amazing code. I'm the best programmer ever. How does this even happen? Damn it, I'm pretty sure... No, I'm actually not checking if the path is valid. That's the problem. God damn it. Oh my god. Okay, yes. Yes. This is brilliant. Okay. I managed to wait him out. The attackers died of old age next to my gates. Oh jeez. Okay. I need RCL3 for towers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that will pretty much fix it. But yes, this is really stupid. God damn it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, conveniently enough, it just managed to get through the tough pieces and that's it. I wonder. Now, the thing is, I probably don't want to actually be checking the like reachability too much. Yeah, this would be an interesting problem to deal with, honestly. Yeah. Okay, let's ignore this for now. It's like the safest thing to do. It's just like this thing didn't happen. But yes, otherwise I think we are good. Like the fighters are actually spawning. That was why the fighters were spawning, because you know they were actually dying in this stupid skirmish. So yeah, I think we are good. So what are you spawning? Remote miner. Yeah, it kind of looks like things are like this piece of code is working. What I want to do now though is to actually move the non-remote stuff into this class as well. Because right now the respawn manager is only handling the remote builders, remote miners, and that kind of stuff. And where do I actually have this piece of logic? Oh, I also have the scouts and the claimers. Yes, okay. So this thing definitely has to move there as well. Yeah, so this is part of the memory cleanup that I definitely want to do. Okay. Yeah, so these are a bit more complicated because these are maps, very deliberately, because I want to have one of this type of creep. So this is more complicated logic than the previous one, where I just want to have enough creeps, and that's usually plenty. This logic really wants me to have one specific thing. So I mean, I could still have it in memory as like the array of tuples. And then just convert it into a map. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the ensure sources have drills is the same idea. So drills, scouts, and claimers are all the same type of logic where there's like one-to-one mapping, and I want to maintain that all the time. But the sized workers we can definitely do. Right. Yeah. And yeah, here I have like the weird emergency thing where it's like, if there are no creeps of the roll, just like spawn whatever you can spawn. Use at least one rampart entrance. What do you mean by use at least one rampart entrance? I don't quite get that. But yes, the idea with not using the JSON parse is exactly that. So in memory, I just have tuples. I still need the serialize thing because I think if I just serialize the map, well, that wouldn't work anyway because the original memory value wouldn't update. But right. Yeah, so for serialize now, I do kind of one extra step, right? So if we look into data lib, right? So right now I have deserialize set from string, where it basically goes parse and then convert into set. If I skip this and don't have a string in memory, instead have an array, then I think it would just work. It would convert the array into a set. The same for the map, where if I have an array of, arrays, basically, I can drop the json.parse, and the same for the stringify. I can just drop the stringify and just serialize it into an array. Yeah. So I know I can already do that. It's just that there's definitely a convenience of not having to call serialize at all. Which is the current class that I have for the spawner, right? This thing. This just takes some memory, and because there's no like special wrappers or anything happening, like all of this code is just, you know, working with the memory. The only thing I have like extra is just like local thing that's just persistent for that tick. I don't actually have to call this the serialize at all. Yes, but I mean, it will basically be double serialize, right? Like I need to serialize my data structures into memory, and then memory gets serialized, right? Right now I have the benefit that I don't have to change my local structures into whatever I store in memory. And then memory obviously gets serialized, right? Well, now I'm pretty much doing triple, right? Like I serialize it, then stringify it, and then the strings get serialized again. Right? So yeah, it's just that I was thinking how to make it potentially work where I wouldn't have a serialized method on the respawn manager. Basically, I would have to kind of give up on using map, I think, which might be okay. That's the thing. But I mean, the conversion is exactly what I care about, right? Like that's me adding a serialized method that I have to like manually call. Because again, like right now I don't care that much about my CPU. Well, although maybe I should. It's actually pretty high. Okay. I wasn't really expecting it to be using like 50% of my CPU right now. Okay. Oh, I have like... Okay, it's my creeps. Like my creeps are using basically all of the CPU. Okay, sure. Wait, what? Why am I expecting negative time on drills? There's something wrong here. What the hell? What's happening? I think I have a bug somewhere. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not possible to use negative CPU. Where the heck is my drill? Oh, yeah, because I do this stupid thing that's absolutely pointless. Yes. What? Again, I screw myself by doing stupid things. Okay. Okay, I think we are fine. Yeah, and the creep logic thing actually is mostly the remote miners that builders because they like are using pathfinding a lot. And actually the workers as well. Okay, yeah. No, the good thing is I kind of know how to fix this. So I didn't really follow any tutorial. So there's a... this thing. Is it this one? No. What? No, that's... not just TypeScript start, Screeps TypeScript. That's the important part. Yes, this thing. I think this is the official one, yes. So this is a template. You can just create a repo from this template by clicking on use this template, and then you just set it up what repository you want to have it as. And you will have a starting code to just start working with, and the only thing that you do then is just roll up minus CW environment destination main, which will just push it to main. You can also push it to like the simulation environment if you want to use that one. But yeah, pretty much just use this. It's a starter that will get you basically started with, you know, very basic code. And if you basically have any specific questions for this, like, just feel free to ask. I'm super happy to answer. There's a bit of complexity with setting up the types. So basically, there are some pre-set up types for you for the creep memory, the memory, and this type of stuff. So if you want like more information in the creep memory or in like the room memory and whatnot, this is basically where you put it. And also like whatever other types you want to define, you just put them here. That you want to store in memory, I mean. And yes, the TypeScript channel unslug is also very useful, yes. Or you can also ask on my Discord. That also works. Okay. So yes, so let's move the sized workers over here. Respawn size workers, right? Oh, it switched to the other playlist again, damn it. Okay, let's pick something. Yeah. Something chill. Doesn't have to be Christmassy, but something chill. I just want to oh, damn it, did I not? Ah! Yeah, that's my stupidity. Sorry for the Discord command not working. Ah. But it's in the description. Yeah, I need to fix that. Okay, let me actually write that down. Yes. Yeah, and also for all the links. Thank you, Zos. But how do I program you? Right, how do we simplify this? So so this piece of code over here is slightly different than the two we already have. So we have the right, we have like has enough workers for a source and has enough workers for a room or something like that. Has enough creeps on source, has enough creeps in room. So the creeps in room would actually work in this case, I think. Would it? Oh, poop! You are not voice activated. That's sad. But yeah, I will set up things for the next stream. I hope. It's not a promise, but I will try to do my best, however little that might be. Okay, first, so what exactly are we checking here? Creep.room is spawn.room. So wait, so this is creep.room, not even creep.memory.room. So those are actually two distinct things. So yes. I think I should rename this method because this is a bit misleading. So have enough creeps in room is a bit misleading because this is not looking for creeps in the room. Or is it? Wait a second. Yeah, so this is memory.creeps. Yeah, so this is the creeps memory, not the creep dot yeah, so these things we get from memory. The workers we need to get from the other loop, which is the, what was it, objects or whatever is it looking through? Damn it, my memory is horrifyingly bad. It goes through game.creeps. Okay, yes. So yeah, this needs to be a very different approach. So I feel like this one should perhaps be called targeting room. Is that misspelled? Target. Oh, it's just one T. Okay. Yeah, so have enough creeps targeting room, and then I have, yep, targeting room, targeted room. Yep, that's fine. But then I also want has why am I calling it have, not has? Should be has, right? Yeah. English. And over here. Right, and then I just need a new method that has enough creeps in a room, which will actually look through the room. Yeah. Okay, so private has enough creeps in room. So now it will be rooms. Yeah, room can be string, that's fine. Raw string and minimum number, yes. Yeah, okay. That's the same interface. Cool. Oh. Forgot to make this explicit, but I think it just got inferred anyway. I'm getting the feeling I should turn on more linter checks, because sometimes there are things I would consider errors that just don't get caught. So yeah, I might need to go through the settings and kind of oh, I can definitely use values. That's a good point. Yeah, this piece of code. Let's just jump to the top again. No, where is my class? Oh, it's over here. Okay. And yeah, let's just, oops. Oh, damn it, I'm starting to click over the place, and that's a bad sign. Where was it? Response object dot values. Yeah. Okay. So we go over the game creeps. Now we actually don't really need the array though. So I feel like what we should actually be doing is for let creep of game.creeps. Why are you? Oh, right. Object dot values game creeps, and just do the counting. So if creep dot memory dot roll is roll, and creep oops, sometimes the code completion is weird. Creep dot room dot name is room, then count plus plus, and then return count higher equal than number. Not number, minimum. Minimum wrap. That's fine, and this might be some. Maybe some. So this is specifically for workers which are assigned to a specific room. So it's not the room in their memory; it's the room where they are. So these don't. So these are just local creeps. I'm right now. I'm outside of remote operations. This is just for spawning workers, basic workers. I mean, technically, I could basically do it consistently and set the room for my workers as well, and basically. Yeah, I could pretty much make it so that I don't really have the concept of like a local worker at all. And it's possible to spawn workers, and if they are not in the correct room, they just go to the correct room. Now, maybe I actually do want that. It's an interesting proposition, honestly. Yeah. I mean, it would make my code more... So basically, it would make everything more flexible, because then... Yeah, like, let's say that every creep... the thing is, I might not actually use the feature, but just doing it that way, that like every creep has a room in memory that's the target of operations. And then, sure, like local creeps get spawned locally. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's make this consistent. I do like that way more. Yeah. Okay. So then I actually don't need this. Yeah, exactly. Then I can do like weird stuff like that. Yes. Then I can basically use adjacent rooms to kind of fill in workers and stuff. That's perfect. Cool. That will mean though that I need to change my what is okay? That's actually this exact method. So we don't need that anymore, which is fine, but we do need the spawn size workers. Okay, this thing. So when I'm spawning it, the memory. Oh, I actually do have a room. I do store the room. I just don't use it. Ah, okay. Spawn room name. Okay. Yeah, so now I just like set them to be in the same room. Okay, no, so everything will just work. Perfect. So let's take this thing. Yeah, I would have to basically go around and like set the memory on each of them if I didn't have that field yet. But it's actually not a problem because I already have it somehow. Didn't think I had it, but I do, which is cool. Okay. So respawn size workers, right? So we should really call it like ensure room has workers. Now I might have that function as well, actually, honestly. Oh no, I don't. I just call it directly with the memory limit, which is interesting. I mean, yeah, I don't want to be accessing this limit over here necessarily. I feel it should just be ensure room has workers and just point to the room. And then if there are multiple spawns, they will just start spawning stuff. Yeah, wait. So if I have a room, can I do room dot? No, there's no room dot spawns, right? There's game dot spawns, right? Yes, there's game dot spawns. And then what is this thing? This is like a map or something, right? Yeah, it's a map from the name to the spawn. Yeah, but I think I want it like this. I want ensure room has workers. Yes. Then const limit will be room dot memory dot limits dot workers. And if we don't have that, then just 0. Maybe not 0. Do you have like a gauge on how these methods stack up as far as like cost goes, like CPU cost? Because I like one thing I'm really wondering is like these like find methods versus like just going over game dot whatever. Oh, the like if you do like find spawns, it is already pre-calculated. Okay. Sure. Then in that case, that's fine. Find my spawns. Yep. All right. Okay. Yeah, okay, I will need to change things a bit around because the other methods are not really ready for this stuff. Yeah. Okay, so this piece, definitely I want to move into a function. Yeah, private make dynamically sized worker. Energy cap number, array of body part constants, right, and the max species, where's that calculation happening? I kind of skipped that accidentally. What the heck, where is it? Here, okay. Yeah, okay, this piece. And then we either pass in energy available or capacity based on whatever, whichever makes sense. And actually don't delete this because I will need it later. Yep, so const max species will be and instead of this it's the energy cap, and then down here just return the body parts. Okay. That's all looking good. Let's find those workers here, right? Okay. So this goes away. Now I think for now I will leave dangerously and just use the capacity available and implement the fallback into energy available at some point later. Hopefully it will not kill me in the meantime because this is like the problem is like this isn't working greatly anyway, because like the moment I have one worker it kind of falls back to the capacity available, so this logic here needs to be much smarter. But pretty much what we want to do is pick a spawn, right? Remote rate operations, okay. Actually, I want to do a filter on this. Oops, no. Yeah, that's correct. I only want spawns. Spawns not spawning. Yeah. And then, yeah, I don't want to do the closest because for now I don't want to actually do cross room. Okay, sorry, I need to check up on the chat. I've been too focused. Available capacity available. Yeah, I think this just gets called once, honestly. Once per room. So probably not worth caching. Yeah, so if not spawns, which should not be happening, but that's fine. Or spawns dot length is 0. Then just continue. Yes, also, so if this dot lockdown rooms has room dot name return. Okay. Yeah, that's the important part. So if this room is already reserved, just like bail out and don't do this stuff. That's yeah. Not for now, but I see your point, yes. Oh, and there's no continue, there's just return, right? Okay, so right, if this room is not locked down, then and yeah, then we just want the basic logic from this piece, right? So spawns 0 roll, and what we put into the memory of the worker is this thing. No, just this piece. So room is room dot name. Wait, no. This entire thing needs to be replaced. Yes, like this. So room dot name, yes, role working through a script memory. Role make dynamically sized worker with room.energy. Yep. And if we fail, yes, so if we fail, we actually want to lock down this room. So this dot lockdown rooms dot add, and I totally forgot to do that for the other things. Room dot name. Yeah. So if this room is already locked down, then just bail out. We figure out the limit. Oh, I'm not checking the limit at all. Right. It should be here. So if this dot has enough creeps targeting room, room dot name role, and then limit, right? So if it doesn't have enough, yeah. And then actually probably want to just move this stuff inside, because why would I actually run this logic if I have enough stuff? Yeah. Okay, what's happening in the chat? Get idle spawns. Oh, right. That's a good point. Okay, to be fair, it's not a problem right now, because I only spawn one thing, even if I have multiple spawns. Because I don't like loop over all the spawns in here. Yeah, no, yeah, this will work, because the thing is, I'm kind of using all the energy in the room anyway, right? Shoot. Yes, probably. Damn it. You might be right. All the other code is checking if the spawn is spawning. Yes, you are right. You are indeed right. If I'm spawning different types of creeps and somehow manage to have enough energy, which I think that's the only saving grace, because like I anyway kind of like use up all my energy for a single spawn, that I never kind of hit this thing. Yeah, for like small creeps this would be a problem. So I wonder, can I just do spawns 0 dot spawning equals true? No, this will company, this is read only, right? Oh wait, this is spawning object will contain the new creeps information or otherwise. Oh, so this is already something like this. No. Yeah. What is actually inside of this thing? Name, need time, remaining. Yeah, that's okay. Let's just do it like this. Yeah. Okay, let me just double check the spawn single creep. So these lockdown rooms at so okay, so if we have name exists or not enough energy, we actually lock down the room. So that will affect all the spawns. Which is fine. If we fail, then we throw. Right. Okay. No. So this is fine. So if yeah. Okay. I mean, we will hit it on this branch as well, but it's okay because the room is locked down anyway. Okay. Yeah. This is fine. But I need to kind of do this everywhere because I totally forgot about that. So let's just double check this logic. This should be fine now. So if the room is locked down, they just bail out. I get the limit, I set my role, then I check if I have enough creeps of this role in this room, find my spawns, and then just use the first available spawn to just spawn the thing. Right. Should be fine. idle spawns. If I spawn from this room many times for other rooms, yeah, it should be fine here. Because these methods will kind of get caught in the order of priorities, and it's kind of like whenever we run out of resources, it just locks down the room, so there will be no starvation. But yes, I need to finish this. So the lockdown rooms, this needs to move. I mean, not move. Be copied to over here. So lockdown rooms, spawn.room, spawn.room.name. And yeah, here I again need to do spawn.spawning spawning, yep. Yep. It's just copy pasting stuff all over the place. Spawn single creep is fine, so spawn spawning, and then this thing as well. Wait, am I actually doing this correctly? No, yeah, I'm not doing it correctly because... No, so this is already doing the lockdown rooms. Okay, I don't have to do this. Or do I? If I don't have enough energy, it will hit this branch. It will lock down the room inside of the spawn. If I hit the OK, then I just set the spawn spawning. If I hit the error branch, then I actually don't want to lock down anything. Okay, no, then it's fine. Okay, yeah, I think I'm fine. Just got a bit confused for a bit. Okay, so then this doesn't need to be here. I just really need the spawn spawning, that's it. Otherwise everything should be good. Yeah, spawn spawning, that's the only thing I need. Right. Yep, I think that's good. Okay, let's check the chat again. Yeah. So this code isn't really doing any scheduling, it's just kind of relying on the fact that the things are specified in the order of priorities, and then they, you just lock down things if, things doesn't happen, and that's kind of it. But there's like proper scheduling would also work here as well. Dynamic size, worker size, yeah, that's all. I think this should be fine. Now my main is obviously complaining because, interestingly enough, it's complaining in a different place. Wait a second, why are you still okay with... Oh, because, yeah. That's why it's complaining in a different place. Now it's complaining in the correct place. Okay. So, respawn manager dot ensure room has workers eval dot room, yeah, charge dot room and forward dot room. Okay. Wow. It's even like a proper sub. Holy crap. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But again, please don't feel any obligation to sub. Really not required. This is free content. And if you want to drop some money, there's a donation to Doctors Without Borders in the stream info section. I just need to put it on the screen at some point. And Sherm has workers, yes. Well, let's see if this explodes. Where's this window? Yes. Looks like it's working okay, except for the UI freaking out, but that's normal. Okay. Wait, why is this not loading? It's not. Oh, wow. Okay, it's not loading like at all. What the heck? Okay, now it's better. So I wonder, I guess the best way to test this would be just to kill some creeps and see if they respawn. Okay, there's a remote miner. What is this guy? That's also probably remote miner. Yeah, these are all remote miners. You are a worker. Yes, please suicide. And now this thing should start. Yes. Okay, I think we are good. Yeah, looks like things are working. Cool. So, we have workers, we have remote miners, remote builders, and fighters. The things I didn't do yet is all the singleton units, which like are the drills, the scouts, and the claimers. Now, as I mentioned, those are tricky because I need to kind of remember exactly which of those kind of yeah. Which of those I actually want to spawn at which point. Okay, let's you know what, let's have a look at the memory. So yeah, so now I have the respawn manager on the side, which is fine. Maybe I can just do something similar that I do here. I basically don't use the map, I just have an array. Because there will never really be that many drills. I mean, it's like 2 to 3 per room, right? And I will, like, let's say even if I have like 20 rooms, that's still under 100, so it's fine, I think. Yeah, the sources can just be an array, that's fine. Yeah, so basically I would move the drill map inside of the respawn manager, because these are IDs, global IDs anyway. And then I guess the same for the sources. It's just that so basically in the room logic I ensure oh yeah, sorry, I missed your message. That's actually, let's have a look what's happening there. Oh, come on, copy pasting is hard. Are they still attacking? Ah, yes. Now these look fancy. Bunch of ranged attack and heal. Ah, okay. Interesting. So you have some logic where you are not attacking them with towers because they have too much heal, or what's happening there? Ah, okay. Okay. Yes, slight issues here. Okay. But very cool to see. Okay. Hmm. So, by the way, those fancy things around the creeps, those are like the decorations, or what is that? Hmm. Yeah. Okay, cool to see. Yeah, I mean, they will chew through this pretty quickly. So they came from here? And there's nothing here, okay. Where did they come from? Oh, they came from like a different... Oh, what the heck did I do? Didn't want to do that. Oh, let's go back. Okay. So this is the room, right? And these guys are from whom? Ah, one room south. So is the... Oh, it's this guy. Okay, sure. Oh, this guy is like remote mining like crazy. Interesting. Oh, this guy is big. But like super heavy in like remote operations. Wow. Okay, interesting. Very spread out. Wow, 6 towers. Okay. Holy shit. Wait, what? 200? How can you... How can you have extensions with 200 energy? Is that like from certain control level, or how is that happening? Oh, really? Okay. I totally missed that as like a piece of information. Wait a second. What's with this UI, damn it? Cannot click on things. Okay, I already have 100. I didn't even notice. Wow, okay. That's cool. Wait a second. What's happening in this room? Why? Okay, what? I think these are all workers, but why were all of them like up there? That's a bit weird and concerning. Oh yeah, okay, they have very low time to live. Okay. Oh, so you have like a link next to your drill. Oh, that's interesting, yeah. So are like all the links linked? How do they actually work? Okay, let's look around. Okay, so this is Tiga. Okay, just shit ton of attack and shit ton of move and no tough. Okay. These guys have some tough. One range attack and bunch of heals. Okay. Range attack. Why is it freaking out so much, damn it? Yeah, the web UI really needs some fixing, unfortunately. You have like very small workers. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look. Oh wait, no, this is Tiga. Ah, okay, I got confused. Okay. Why does he have such small workers? That's interesting. It's like a lot of stuff happening very quickly. Hmm. Yeah, interesting. The reason why I'm confused is because, like, with what he had, he should be able to spawn much bigger workers, so I wonder, like, what's the logic behind having such small workers, like, and having many of them instead of having, like, big workers. Interesting. What's the attack logic? Because I see, like, sometimes they go after the healer, sometimes they go after the other one. Ah, there's a new creep as a replacement. And they are in. Oops. I mean, you do have safe modes, so... But they are interesting. Ah, yeah, he uses the area of effect. Okay. Why is it not damaging the tower? I'm confused. Oh, because... Yeah, okay. But man, this stuff is potent. It's an interesting logic. Now they like stop. Okay, so all the parts are boosted. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Now, let me just think a bit. So, do I want to do anything today? The thing is, I don't think I will manage to get the singletons sorted out today. I think that's a thing I will need to leave for later. Now the good thing is these are all like small things, so drills are relatively cheap, the scouts are also cheap, so it's not a huge deal that they don't get correctly gated on the spawns. Yeah, I think I'm happy with the current state, so I guess let's just watch a bit more and then I will wrap up the stream. Oh, so you are building a rampart? Or no? What's happening here? I mean, the towers are dealing with them pretty well. Not spawning any fighter units? Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Yeah, that also kind of makes sense. But yeah, I mean the like area of effect attacks are pretty good, I have to say. It's not hitting this thing? I thought it was. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, it looks like a bug. like it almost looks to me that you only attack them when they were like in range, like closer to these two towers. Because like essentially when they are below this line, I don't think you are attacking them. But if when they were like up here, you did. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just making stuff up at this point. But yeah, interesting for sure. So can you, I actually wonder, so what can you do with ruins? You just need to have them decay, or can you like dismantle them or something? How does that work? Because some ruins also have like owners, and I know that like if you don't own something, withdraw resource, that's all. Ah, okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it's really there just to kind of, so you cannot like immediately rebuild, basically. Okay. Makes sense. And can you withdraw resource even when you don't own the building? Like if there is a ruin that the owner is different than you, does that still work? Yes, okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah, so I think that means my logic will need slight adjustments. Yeah. But cool. Cool to end the stream on a nice fight. But yeah, like it's kind of weird that your towers are not attacking anymore at this point. Oh really? You can steal resources from... Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. That's very cool stuff. Okay, I think I will kind of wrap up the stream now. I'm definitely looking forward. When's actually the first? It's on Tuesday. Okay. I wonder. I might make like a short stream on Tuesday. We will see. Kind of like the first day of the season. Oh, there are more coming. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks for the subs and everything. And again, totally not expected. Like, I'm really not a professional streamer. So, you know, feel free to watch for free. It's totally fine. And yeah, I will be streaming next weekend for sure. And as I said, I might drop like a short, like an half an hour stream on Tuesday. We will see. I will basically, it really depends on how much exhausted I will feel after work. But yeah, I will definitely start on the seasonal world and we will go from there. I will keep updating, you know, my current spazzing out. The UI is just amazing. It's always so funny to watch. I will keep updating my, you know, current colony as well, but it will be pretty much as, you know, primary development will be for the seasonal, just will try to make sure that I don't break the non-seasonal as well, because why would I? You know, that's kind of the point. Yeah, I'm super glad that I found Screeps, honestly. Like it's there's like plenty of these like games where you can code, but Screeps is just amazing. I have to say, like it's technical enough to actually be coding, but it's still fun enough to be a game. Like it's this like perfect sweet spot. Like most of the other games are like either more games or more coding than like on the other sides. Like this is really, I love it. But yes. Enough of the wrap up. I have been wrapping up the stream for way too long. Let's look around for someone and let's make a visit again as usual, because that's a nice thing to do. You know, spread the community around. Again, if you have any like favorite streamers right now streaming, I mean specifically small streamers, do let me know. Otherwise, I will just kind of browse and pick someone. Let's see. Who is streaming? There's lots of streams actually, and a lot of streams with quite a few viewers. Okay, you know what? Let's do a bit of hardware. Why the heck not? Where is my screen? Over here. Right channel. And let's go. Cool. So, thanks again for watching. Thanks again for hanging out and chatting. It's been a lot of fun. And as usual, as I said, next week I'll be here. Maybe some short stream in between for the new season. See you guys.